Hi, good morning. Happy Tuesday. If you would like to share something that you are proud of or an accomplishment from this year, go ahead and do that in the chat. If you do not, that is okay also. We are going to do a... Why does what turn on automatically? Oh, your camera? I'm not sure. That's a good question. Don't know. We are going to work on a review today for Unit 4. Okay, so I'm going to kind of try to tailor a little bit to what y'all want to work on. So we're going to do a vote just to see where you feel like you guys need the most help. If you are still struggling with the linear regressions, which is from 4.03, last week, so it was mostly last Friday, if you will go to the small group session, everybody is invited as optional. So you are able to go back and watch those videos. I did some instruction with everyone so if you ask to come to the session, like when I send out the small group invites, if you ask to come, it's required, and then for everyone else it's just optional, because that's how we take attendance. So if you're asking to come, we mark it as required, so that way we know y'all are the ones that asked for extra help. All right, so let's go ahead and get started for today. I'm going to put a poll up here. Where would you like to start with our review? So we can start with point slope form. Point slope form is like 4.01. Parallel and perpendicular is 4.1b. Transformations is 4.2. And then linear regressions is 4.3. So go ahead and vote. I'll give everyone, it looks like we've got 14 of the 35 of you that have voted. So I'll give everyone a little bit more time to vote, but please vote so that way you're getting the most help that you can. Right now we're tied with A and D. So if y'all really want to do one of those, please vote. All right, we're still tied between A and D. So there's 15 left that have not answered. I'm going to give us a 10-second countdown. Okay. No, you don't have any homework today. I just posted a review video for you. And then if you haven't taken your TFAR 4, which some of you have, you'll go take that. You can work on your Unit 4 writing part. You did, Angel. You can work on your Unit 4 writing part today. All right, so let's go ahead. We're going to start with A because that is what the most people voted for, and then we'll go on to D. So we'll start with point slope form first, and then we'll go on to linear regressions. So first things, let's go ahead and talk about why do we have 3 different forms of linear equations. So the first form, and most of you are most familiar with this, is the slope-intercept form. I am looking for my pen. I don't know where it is. That's weird. Okay. Slope-intercept form. This is where y is already solved. So if you look at these three different types of linear equations, y is by itself, and that's the only one. Okay, so this is y equals m times x plus b. M is your slope, so it's the number in front of x, that's your slope, and then the number at the end is your y-intercept. We also have point slope form, which is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So in this representation here, when your point slope form, if that minus sign turns to a positive, that means your y value was a negative. So the point that's plugged in this point slope form would be -10, -4. And then lastly, we have standard form, which is ax plus by equals c. So here you have a number in front of x. X and y are on the same side. All right, so let's talk about, I want to go over point slope since that's what y'all asked for first. Let's see. These are all point slope form. Here we go. Okay. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to match the graph with the equation. So we've got a couple different options over here. So first things first, before we even start reading through these, let's think about what we know. Okay, these are given to you in point slope form. So we need to find a point and the slope. They labeled a point right here for us. Let's go ahead and write the coordinates for that point. So the x value is at -4. The y value is at +1. Okay, so that's our x1 and our y1. Now let's count the slope. So we need to get to another point, another pretty point. Let's go to this one. Okay. So we're going to go down 1 to the right 3. Is that right? Hold on. 1, 2, 3. Okay, but that's not what I want. Let's do, okay, there we go. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Alrighty, so now I have my slope and my point. So this down here is our point slope form. Yeah, it looks scary, but it's not. So all I'm going to do is now rewrite it, but I'm going to plug in the information I pulled from the graph. So y minus 1, I got that from my y1, equals -1/3 times x minus -4, which this would become x plus 4. Yep, good. So then as you can see, this matches with the equation from A. Okay, now that you kind of got the hang of this, let's do another one. So I want you to do this one. I'm going to go ahead and put a poll up. Yes, I think you get 2 tries, Amara. So try to log in again because I set it for 2 tries. All right, so what you're going to do is first things first, you're going to write out the coordinates of the ordered pair, the point that they give you. So we're not using the y-intercept, Angel. We didn't use the y-intercept on the last one. So you're right, it's 3, 2. And then now you need to count the slope. Be careful when you're counting the slope here, because if I'm going to start at this point, okay, I'm going to go up 1 and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have to go to the next pretty point. So I went up 1 and then left 5. So now I'm going to take all of that information, change your answer if you need to, and plug it in down here. So y minus 2 equals negative 1/5 times x minus 3. So, Liv, if you are just given 2 points, then yes, you do need 4 numbers to do the slope. If they give you a graph, that's where we can count rise over run to calculate the slope. So if you want to, though, Liv, you could have taken this next pretty point right here, and you could have said, okay, those coordinates are -2, +3, and you can go ahead and do the slope formula if you want. So if this was your x1 and y1, and then your x2, y2, you can do the slope formula if you prefer that, or you can just count rise over run. Okay, let's try another one. I'm going to not put up a poll for this one because it won't show up, I don't think. So you can just tell me in the chat. I'm going to close it, and then we will waterfall our answers. Okay, so you can type your answer or just hang on to your answer, the letter of your answer. And then I will open the chat in about 1 minute. Yeah, Abdullah, I sent you an email about how to log in, but right now we're just doing a Unit 4 review. We're not going over how to log into the TFAR, okay? We're reviewing for our unit test. Good, Anya. That's exactly right. Yeah, I know that Progress Learning is new. We were supposed to be using Progress Learning from the start of the school year, but there was some sort of issue with it, so we did not. Good, Adrena, that's right. All righty, so I'm going to go ahead and open the chat if y'all want to put your answer in there. There you go. So go ahead and let me know what you think. Good. So we have our point, which was at +3, +2. And then our slope, we went up 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to the right. So up is positive and to the right is positive. So there we go. Okay, so now let's go ahead, and if they give us a line in point slope form, let's go ahead and identify the point and the slope, and then we are going to graph it. So down here in the bottom left corner, this is our formula. So the first thing it wants us to do is find the point. Remember what I said about if you look at your formula, these are subtraction signs. So if they have turned to positive signs, addition signs, that means that number is actually negative. Okay. So this y value is actually a -5 because when I plug it in, it has to be y minus -5. So it turns into y plus 5. It has to match what's here. My x value also turned into a positive, so that means that x is negative. So our point is -2, -5. And our slope is 1/3. So this is asking us to go ahead and graph. So we're going to graph just like we would our normal equations, except since we don't know the y-intercept, we're just going to start by graphing the point that we do know, which is -2, -5. So I'm going to go ahead and put my point there. And now I'm going to use my slope, which is up 1 and to the right 3. So I'm going to go up 1, to the right 3. Up 1 and to the right 3. Okay, and then I could draw my line through here. Questions about how I got point, slope, or how I graph? Anybody have questions? Okay, so do I have anybody that wants to volunteer to do this one? To write it on the board? Okay, thank you, Erica. Go ahead. And then everyone else, you'll do this on your own. Yeah, my 2-year-old was playing with my pen to write something, and I knew it had to be in here somewhere, so I was trying to find it, and it had fallen down by my desk. We're all good now, though. Now I can write a little bit neater. All right, so let's go ahead and identify our point, and then we're going to identify our slope. So be careful with your y's and your x's. So remember, this first number is the y point. And when we write an ordered pair, we write x, then y. And then also, since this still has the minus sign, that means we plugged in a positive number for y1. Yeah, good, Adrena. That's right. Good, Jonathan. So whenever I do this, yeah, there you go. -4, 1. Yeah, I think it's hard to write on the computer. So Anya, the slope, remember, if there's not a number underneath the slope, we can assume it's a 1. So if we had 5/5, that would really be 1. So we want it to still be 5. So 5/1. All right, so our slope is 5/1. So let's go ahead and plot our point at -4, 1. Just a second. Hold on. I think you're at -4, -1. Let's put it at -4, +1. There we go. Okay, there we go. Now you're going to go up 5 and to the right 1. Yes, Anya, good. So we would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and to the right 1. And this is where our new point would be. And then we draw a line. Okay, let's do a couple more point slope ones. I want to go ahead and do a couple like this where we have to solve then for y, and then we will. That's okay, no worries, Erica. I'm very glad that you tried. You did a good job. And then we're gonna go over some linear regression stuff because I want to make sure we get a little bit of that since a lot of you wanted to go over like 4.03. Okay, so this is like your 4.01 homework. So we've got the instructions that say write the equation of the line through the point 3, -2 with a slope of m equals 2/3. So step 1, identify the slope m. So we know that m is 2/3. And we know our point was 3, -2. So I'm going to go ahead and label that x1 and y1. Now I'm going to go ahead and plug it in, step 2, plug it into my slope formula. So I've got y minus -2 equals 2/3 times x minus 3. I'm going to pause here. Is there any questions about how I got any of those numbers to plug in? Okay. Okay, good deal, good deal. Awesome, awesome. Okay, so let's go on then to the next step. We're going to convert to slope-intercept form. So we had y minus -2, which becomes y plus 2. Now I need to distribute, so I'm going to multiply my slope. So I would get 2/3 x. And then up here, if I do 2, you can just type 2/3 times 3 in your calculator, or you can do it by hand, either one. So 2 times 3 is 6, 3 times 1 is 3, and then of course 6 divided by 3 is 2. So I would still get -2. Any questions about how I got to this step here? Okay, good deal. So then let's go ahead and do our last step, which is subtract 2 from both sides because this is y plus 2. So I want to do the opposite of adding 2, which is to subtract 2. So I'd get 2/3 x minus 4. That's okay. I'm sleepy too. I get it. Okay, now I want you to try one on your own. So we're going to start with this one where it doesn't give you the slope. So you're going to calculate your slope. Okay, so we've got x1 and y1, x2 and y2. So go ahead and do step 1, calculate your slope, and when you've got it, go ahead and put your m into the room chat. Just put m equals. Okay, good. Okay, so if you're having trouble with how to find the slope, we would do 8 minus 4 divided by 5 minus 3. So we would get 4 divided by 2, which is 2. Okay, now let's go ahead and plug it in to our slope form. So y minus 4 equals 2 times x minus 3. If you want to do, if you wanted to use 5 and 8, it's totally fine. You can use 8 also. So that, like, if you used your x2 and y2, or you used 5 and 8, you'll still get the same answer once we simplify. Okay, so that's totally okay. Whatever makes sense to you. Yeah, you can use either point. And you'll still get the same answer in slope-intercept form, because slope-intercept form tells us where the y-intercept is. So we use those 2 points to find the slope. So slope's not going to change. Both of these points are on the line, so that's why we could use either one to find the y-intercept. All right, so let's go ahead then. We had y minus 4 equals 2 times x minus 3. Let's go ahead and distribute. So what would I get once I distribute? Yep, write out the whole equation for me. Unless you've already solved all of it, then that's fine. Yep. So y minus 4 equals 2x minus 6. Don't forget that's a minus 6. And then what would my last step be? Good job. I'm just giving everyone some time to think. Yep. We're going to add 4 exactly. So y equals 2x minus 2. Exactly. Good. Okay. Let's switch gears for just the last like 15 minutes. And I want to do here we go. The regression. Okay. So we can use regression lines to look at trends in data and predict values. So you have 2 choices of ways that you can complete a linear regression. So you can use Desmos. There is a like star testing Desmos that you will have on the star test. Like you will be able to use the star version of Desmos. So if you're more comfortable with that, then by all means, go right ahead. If you like to use your calculator, that is totally fine as well. Okay, both of them give you the same answers. It's whatever you want. Yes, so you will take the star on a computer. I think everybody has to this year because there's going to be graphing and stuff like that. So you will take it on the computer. Yeah, I'm pretty sure if you are at TOPS, you go to a testing site and they're all on the computer. Yeah, it's still in person. Still in person, you just have to take it in person on a computer. You can bring your own calculator. Yes. So if you have a TI-84 or like something that is STAR approved, I would absolutely bring your own calculator just in case they don't have some there. My testing site provides them, but I can't say that for every site. So, but you will have Desmos if you need it. So, if you prefer to use the calculator, you also have this button on your STAAR test that says calculator, and it pulls up basically this TI-84. So yeah, I mean, technically you could have three. So you could have Desmos, you could have the calculator that's in the actual test, and then your own. Yeah, you don't need to know how to use all three. Pick your favorite and do that. Okay. So reasons we might need to approximate a line. Let's say we're trying to figure out, like, okay, over the last couple of weeks, we've been saving money, not necessarily at a steady pace, but we want to know, like, about how much money are we saving every week? Yeah, Desmos will be available for all questions. Okay, so if you are using your calculator, we're going to do your instructions first. If you're using Desmos, we will do your instructions next. So if you're using a calculator, and if you want to just learn how to do both, then follow along with me. That's totally fine. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to click on the Stat button on your calculator. And you're going to click Enter where it says Edit. Okay. If you have some numbers that are already there, go ahead and arrow up to where it says L1 and L2. So you're going to go to L1, hit Clear, and then hit Enter, and it will clear all of those out for you. So now what you're going to do is go into your L1 column. Whoopsies. And then this column over here, the Y's, will be L2. You're going to type those in. So for L1, you should have 0, 1, 3, 7, and 9. And then you will arrow over to your L2 and type in those dollar values. Make sure that you are typing in the same number. Like if you have, in this case, we have 5 numbers in our L1, we need to have 5 numbers in L2 as well. So once you've got your numbers typed in, then we're on step 4. You're going to hit that Stat button again, and you're going to do one arrow to the right to go to Calculate, and go down to the option number 4. And hit Enter, and then you're going to go all the way down to the bottom again and hit Enter. So on your calculator, it gives you y equals, it says ax plus b. Okay, it gives you a number for A and a number for B. You're just going to plug those in. So your A number is 9.4625. B is 16.44. We will go ahead and just round to the nearest tenth. So we would get y equals 9.4x plus 16.4. Okay, so you're really, if you use your handheld calculator, you're just using the same Stat button over and over. Okay, you just have to remember Stat, put in your list, Stat, calculate. Okay, so we're entering in those statistics, those numbers, and then we're creating an equation out of that. Okay, if you are wanting to use Desmos, I can give you real quick the Desmos website. So if you've never used it, but you just want to try it out, I'm going to go ahead and put that in the chat. You can go ahead and try it out. Follow along. So what you're going to do is you're going to, in the top left corner, there is a plus sign, and you're going to hit that plus sign and enter in a table. And your table is going to be X1 and Y1. Okay, so you're going to enter in your X1 values. Again, that was 0, 1, 3, 0.79. And then enter in the dollar amounts into your Y1. Okay, so now on step 3, you're going to go down to line number 2. Okay, click in that line. And this is where you're going to type in this function. Okay, so you're going to type in Y1. Okay, and then there's a little keyboard button at the bottom left. And that's where you can find that little tilde sign. So you'll click on the keyboard. It's like, looks kind of like this. Okay, and then you'll click on the ABC button. And you'll see this squiggly. And then you can continue on to mx1 plus b. Okay. And then there you will see that it gives you your m value. It tells you m equals 9.4625 and b is 16.44. So again, exactly the same. And we just plugged those numbers in. I guess that would really be 9.5, wouldn't it? 9.5 plus 16.4. Oops, I forgot my x. So you can use Desmos or the TI-84. Whatever you choose is 100% up to you. Okay? Use whatever makes the most sense to you. I also, in Classkick, I put in there an assignment. It's called 4.03 Linear Regression Tutorial and Practice. So I also have these steps listed out for you in Classkick. So if you didn't take notes or you didn't take a picture of these steps, you have them in Classkick. Okay, so use those if you need some help. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and practice your calculator skills. This is how you would probably see this on the STAR test. So a construction manager is monitoring the progress of the build of a new house. The scatter plot and table show the number of months since the start of the build and the percentage of the house still left to build. A linear function can be used to model this relationship. Okay, so this is saying at 0 months, they have 100% of the house to build. At 4 months, they have about 40% left. At 5 months, 34% left. So they're wanting to know how quickly are they moving. So you are going to complete a linear regression on one of your calculators. You can use Desmos or you can use your TI-84. And then you are going to vote on the poll which of these functions represents this data. answered, but let's go ahead and go over this. Maybe it won't let me end this. There we go. So almost half of us that answered got it right. The correct answer is A. And if we look at this, what we know about linear functions is that this is going down and to the right. So we know this has a negative slope. So that gets rid of C and D for us. Okay, and let's talk about the y-intercept. The y-intercept is up here close to 100. So it doesn't make sense that our y-intercept for B would only be 7.3. Okay. So even if you forgot how to do a linear regression, you could reason your way through this one. All right, let's do another one. I want to do, okay, let's do this one. So Grammarly advertises on YouTube. An analyst tracked the number of visitors to YouTube, that's X, and the number of clicks on the advertisement. So let's read this table. There was 153 visitors, 14 clicks on the advertisement. 629 visitors, 38 clicks on the advertisement. Yes, Isaiah. So first things first, a linear function can be used. Okay, we're going to run a linear regression using this data. So this would be your L1 or X1, your L2 and your X2. And then we're going to plug in 1500 for X. So let's go ahead and run our regression first. So let's put those numbers into our calculator. They don't lower your grade a lot. It's worth 2 homeworks. That's it. So it's the same as 2 5-point homeworks. It's just a 10-point quiz. They don't really lower your grade that much. But you get 2 attempts on it. So if you'd like to take it again, you can. All right, so everybody should be putting in the data here. Type all of that into your calculator, please. And you're going to send me your linear equation in a private chat. So send me what you get for your linear equation. Yes. Good, Anya. Probably not, Stormy, but we can talk about that. You can send me an email. So you're going to put X in column X1 or L1, and then the Y's go in L2 or I think I put X2, but I meant Y1. Sorry, this should be Y1. So for your equation, you should get 0.05x plus 5.5. Okay. Anya, make sure you did 0.05, not 0.5. Good job, Liv. Good. So then the question is asking us, based on the table, what's the best prediction if 1,500 people visit? So we're going to, instead of X, put in 1,500. Okay, so go ahead and do that. and you will get y equals 80.5. So then our closest answer, if we had to give a prediction value, would be C. Okay.